Alpha Master Pimps are easy. And I just want to speak about this Black in America CNN thing, at least the first night. The first night really dealt with just black families, black females, and basic black issues. I think the second night, which is tonight, is what's most important because there you'll find the most forgotten of the black race, which is by far the black male. Now, while a lot of people find this series quite shocking, they were very tame in comparison to a lot of the issues that really are before us here. First and foremost, black people have probably been on this dirt as long as anybody outside of maybe the Indians, and of course we mix with them. This is a big melting pot, but in the process of that, our upward mobileness has caused us to lose sight of something now that has deteriorated, which is the race in general. People have turned blind eyes to every issue known to man because, well, the 60s took a lot of the air out of us. They killed off so many of what we considered leaders that everyone else just shut up, and become more introverts. You have black people that have some kind of connection to places like the islands or something like that don't consider themselves the same type of black people as black people who have been stuck with no genetic background at all. You have black people from different countries and stuff that consider themselves, oh, how they put it, I am not a nigger. Well, that doesn't stop you from getting stopped for your color if all of a sudden you're pulled over for driving while black. In the meantime, many of these people, they move into these areas with all the rest of these people and then they close their doors. Back in the day, we used to have a community. No matter what you did or what you were about, if you lived in that community, you were of that community. Kids that did bad would be told by parents or adults almost neighborhoods away, I'm going to call your mom, and they knew her number. People really honestly felt the need to make sure that our children had a good education and things like that. Now we're dealing with, you have to realize we're dealing with coming out of a very bad era. That was that whole drug era of the 70s and the 80s and going into the early 90s. And that's caused a lot of people to really have grave issues with each other. But the bottom line here still is the fact that we're not trying to become a separate race of people, but as people of color and mainly blacks, it seems as if the system, and I don't mean the system by the man, I mean the system by you people, whom have now grown to find yourselves becoming prudes to your own people. You've turned your backs to other people's children, only to find that your children are those others too. Everything is on a steady downward spiral, all because that's the way everyone else feels. Nobody's getting up and getting out and introducing themselves. Nobody's taking more of an idea of community. You don't speak, you don't think about it. It's all about you. Well, guess what? If you're black, you don't have that option as much as you think. Black flight out of the ghettos have now allowed and left lots of people who are still there to basically dwindle into whatever was left for them. While in the meantime, many of these people have gone out to the suburbs and whatnot, only to find that now they have become just as bad as the inner cities. And I fault black people for that. There's no man keeping something down, because basically speaking, if you're not standing up for anything, then you're going to fall for everything. And that, I would guess, has been black folks' issue. Now, What really scares me is just the mere fact that once again I hear yet another person watch this, at least just the first series, and go, "Oh my goodness, I didn't know anything about that. Oh my God, DC has got lots of people with AIDS." Well, DC, Washington D.C. has the best health system for people with AIDS outside of San Francisco. Therefore, there are lots more of them registered here in this city, which I do reside in Washington, D.C. Uh, and I think what really scares me more than anything else is all the other places into which all these people come from, because I know I come here from Georgia by way of Pennsylvania, and I know that I have yet to meet very few real actual Washingtonians. I have met them, but what I found more than anything else is that those are the people that most of the black people who drive through and work in this city usually pass by and go, "Damn niggas, look at them bums. They should get up off of their butt. They should pick up their bootstraps and this, that, and the other." Well, it doesn't become your problem until they're still in your car stereo, or it doesn't become your problem when you find out that they're getting low test scores. It doesn't become your problem when you find out that your children have to live with those type people. Well, because it doesn't become your problem until you realize it is your problem. And if you're an American, it is your problem too. Why? Because we're all we got. Black people can't go back and run home to some other country, and neither can most of the white people here in America. So, with that being said, maybe it's time for everybody to really start taking a deeper look as to where the problem lies. And instead of looking outside, look inward, because that's where the problem starts. There's no black power because there's no black pride. There's no black pride because there's no black people. Why? Because everybody has become everything else but black to everybody else but black people. Maybe it's time that we realize this is a very real problem. And until you really honestly fix what has been done and created to the black male image, and I don't mean, oh, them lazy black guys. I mean you actually having the nerve to consider all black males of a negative, "Oh, they're rather gay or in jail." That's bullshit. Maybe you are the worst link. Maybe you are the weakest link in the genetic strain of what we call people of color. But don't you think it's about time for us to do something a little bit more than just be a little surprised about it? Maybe it is time for you to wake up. I am Alpha Master Pimp, and if I can get this thing to turn off, then we'll end this here.